Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, we're going to be talking about the upcoming support cards that'll be coming alongside Summer Maruzensky and Summer Special Week, and that's going to be Speed Sweep Tosho as well as Stamina Winning Ticket, both of them being SSR, so it's a double SSR banner with them both having that 0.75 rate. And so we're going to kind of take a look at them and kind of discuss whether or not you want to pulver them, but the quick answer to that is no, you're not going to want to pulver them, and we already know that with all the stuff coming up I've kind of discussed in a lot of my other videos. If you want Summer Maruzensky, she's going to be dropping on the same banner, and then we have the Rico banner for the upcoming new scenario, which is a very big important pickup for a majority of people, as well as eventually in a couple months after that, the Kita-san Black reruns, and so going to be an easy skip for that, but there is value in these cards, especially when it comes to borrowing potential, especially with the Sweep Tosho card here. Everybody, I think, is familiar with the SR Sweep Tosho. This one is quite similar, but a little bit different. The biggest thing is she has a lot of the same skills on the hints, but when you look at her MLB, because she should be a card that you borrow, do not pulver her, so you can actually think of her value when it comes to MLB. She's got a lot of training, friendship training, because you have it 10% built into the unique effect, as well as 35% on the bonus. So very, very big speed bonus when you're getting those rainbows. And then she has increased speed gain alongside a skill point bonus. So very similar to the SR, except now you have that speed bonus there. Have 10% race bonus, which is going to be nice in the future for Make a New Track. You're going to definitely want some speed cards with 10%. Kita-san Black does not have that, but definitely not a reason to pulver her, but just something to know about as being one of the speed cards that has 10% or more for Make a New Track when that comes out, which is the third scenario. Fan bonus, special priority, like one of the most important things, although it's a little bit lower than something like Kita-san Black, but she does have special priority, so she'll hopefully land on speed a little bit more. Mood effect 30%, and that's pretty much it. She does not have any hint bonuses or levels. That's not that big a deal, because one of the biggest things about this card and why I think it's really good for a borrow and not a pull is not because it has all the same skill hints as the SR Sweep Tosho, but it comes down to the events. Now, the gold skill sucks. Crusader is just another one of those field of view skills. That's useless. But the big one is Straightaway Spurt, and everybody who participated in Gemini Cup and tried to go with the meta of building Gold Ship knows that was the big acceleration skill. Even Cancer Cup, your Gold Ships wanting Straightaway Spurt or another end closer as well. Any end closer want Straightaway Spurt as a big excel for a lot of tracks. Now, it's not going to be useful for the upcoming Leo Cup, but we'll eventually have the, I can't remember the cup, but we have similar ones that Straightaway Spurt is going to continue to be useful on. As long as the last spurt is starting on that a straight right there, it's pretty much going to take off immediately, like we see with the Cancer Cup, like we saw with the Gemini Cup, which is very, very big. And so this is going to be a very quick and easy way to access Straightaway Spurt, because it's not on a skill hint like the Hishi Amazon card, and it's not on a card that is actually terrible, like Hishi Amazon's power card. You're not going to want to use on a Champions meeting like the Gemini Cup. You don't want to use power when you're needing a lot of stamina. And this is a speed card, which you do want to have speed cards. The other big thing I like, and this is more for somebody that's willing to dump lots of those TP pots or even carrots for doing reruns, is that Straightaway Spurt is on a event chain, and it's the very first chain of that event. And we can actually, let me switch it to English here. I have it on Japanese side here. Or I guess it keeps keeping it in Japanese because the card's not out yet. But basically it is, now there's a big negative. It is a 50-50, or it may be weighted towards Straightaway Spurt. I don't know the weighting of it, but let's just say it's 50-50. You either get it or you don't. But it is on the very first event of that chain, which means you're going to know very early on whether or not you get it. And it's one of the reasons why I have not actually worked Straightaway Spurt into my parents and grandparents yet, because this is the card that's going to make that so much smoother. And so bring this card, you start your run, you fail this, you don't get it off of this, you can immediately throw that parent away. It doesn't matter if it happens, me personally, but if I fail to get this before the debate, the debut race, I will throw her away. I'll throw them right into the glue start a new run from there. That might not be feasible for everybody, especially if you're not willing to dump carrots to do the restart runs. But just know, you're going to know very early on with this card whether you get it or not. Versus something like when you're trying to get cooldown from the McQueen SSR or Gormand from the Special Week speed card, where you have to get all the way to that third chain, and you're actually hoping that it happens later because you get a better chance the higher your stamina. This one, you just hit that first chain, you either get it, you don't, you're done. And so I really, really like it. I feel like it's going to be very good for me to actually start building parents and grandparents with Straightaway Spurt, but also as a great borrow card to get Straightaway Spurt, because it's a speed card. You always need speed cards. It's a fairly good speed card. Yeah, Key to Sun Black's better, but if you need Straightaway Spurt and you don't really have easy access to it, this is an okay replacement. I mean, you're going to lose out on Professor of Curvature if you have to borrow this over Key to Sun Black. But I feel like, I mean, getting Straightaway Spurt is very important. You can always make up for that with some other skills to a certain extent, but that's like the big deal. So really, really massive. I really like this card, but it's definitely just a borrow. Do not pull for it in that aspect. You need to save those carrots for the better cards that you're going to be using more generally, like Rico, who's coming up here soon. Which then brings us to the other card, the Winning Ticket Stamina card. And this one is just all around terrible. One of the big things is it's a stamina card. Everybody thinks, oh, you need stamina cards. That's good, right? Well, when you look what comes with it, one of the big things that makes Super Creek so good is her skill, Swinging Maestro, her gold. This one is Hard Worker, which is a late surger specific skill. So this is already just only applies to late surgers in that aspect. You can actually see that with a lot of these skills here, all late surgers all over the place. But then Hard Worker is it's a weird acceleration skill dealing with passing. And so it's very random when it happens. And it is an Excel, but you need it to happen at a very specific time. And this can like pop anywhere. So not very good. A lot of the other skills are good here. But as I said, you're not going to be pulling on this banner, so you're thinking about borrowing when it comes to this card. And there's a card that's a lot better than this that you can borrow. Well, the other thing I forgot to mention up here, the stats too. No training effectiveness and no special priority. So it's not going to land on stamina as often. And since it's a floating card, I mean, you at least want training effectiveness, right? Well, there's none of that here. So very bad as a floating card. Which then, if you've probably seen some of my runs, I have a more favored card that you're going to want to borrow instead if you really need that floating stamina card for some reason. Maybe you already have MLB, Key to Sun Black, and other cards. And so now you're just looking for that generic stamina card, which is going to be this one. This is going to be your late surger stamina card borrow if you just need a floating stamina card for something like Cancer Cup, where you don't need a lot of stamina, but you want a card that helps you fill that. She does it quite well. She has training effectiveness, though. Pretty big on her. She has no special priority, so she's going to float around. And she gives you a crap ton of stamina as well, right off the bat. You don't need to hit stamina, and she gives you that little bit to top you up, like on the Cancer Cup, where you're trying to still hit that 600 mark without really hitting stamina as much as possible. And then she floats around and gives you stats there. Has a lot of the same skills, like the 1.5 million, medium corners, Fast and Furious, which is actually a good gold. So just an all-around better card that you're going to borrow over Winning Ticket there. So yeah, just all around there, just a bad card. I don't see myself ever using this. Even if I get it MLB from bad luck on other pull banners like Rico's and all that, still not going to see myself using it because there's just a lot better options out there. But that's pretty much it with the cards here. We do have the free one that everybody can get. You absolutely want to make sure you get it. And that is going to be the Daiwa Scarlet card, which I don't think it's on here yet. Let me see. Switch it to where we can see everything here. But make sure you get this. Always get the free cards. You never know if you could get some value out of it, especially when it comes to parent making. I've used some of the cards that were absolutely terrible cards, but I've made them work with parent runs just for even the smallest thing. And I'm a little too far up here. But where are you? Man, I'm still way too far up. So many cards have come out lately. She is right here. The Daiwa Scarlet Power card. Now, you will be able to get this one MLB. It is a power card, so you really aren't going to see yourself really using these unless it's maybe mile or sprints. Once you get above that, you're starting to look at more stamina cards or even having more wit cards when it comes to models than that. But this one, the big thing this has is Race Planner to decrease fatigue mid-race for Pace Chaser. Just another option of a stamina skill for your Pace Chasers. Pace Chasers already have a ton available to themselves. Many of them already have them built in. So not too much value there, but you never know. Not much else to say about it. It's a power card. So you're going to want to try not to use power cards if you don't have to. But good card pickup. Has really nice art. I've seen that from other content creators. It's one of those big fan servicey cards, having Daiwa Scarlet doing what she's doing there, as well as Summer Ruzinski and Summer Special Week. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the cards that are coming up. And if you like my content, if you like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.